What's up everybody, Nate here from Out of the Basement, bringing you a brand new action figure review today from Star Wars The Vintage Collection. We are taking a look at BO-KATAN KRYZE. This is of course from the Mandalorian, and honestly a figure I wasn't really planning on picking up, but once I saw it in person and just saw how awesome she looked, I knew I had to have it. And you can see for yourself right here, even in the package, this figure just looks fantastic. As with all vintage collection figures, of course, we have the vintage card back here, the Kenner logo down at the bottom, a nice picture of Bo from the TV show, Mandalorian logo up top. There is a closer look at Bo in the package. She just looks absolutely wonderful here. Flipping around to the backside, here is the other figures in the wave. She is VC226. And there is the barcode down at the bottom, Disney and Hasbro logo. We know pretty much what to expect from vintage collection packaging, so let's not waste a whole lot more time. We're going to get this figure open. We'll take a look at the accessories and then Bo herself. Okay, first up we get two of her blasters here. These actually look really nicely detailed for how small they are. Some really nice sculpt work there and some nice silver paint. And I believe the plastic on this is brown at the handle there. And then here is the other one just real quick. Like I said, they are identical. And then here's something that really surprised me about Bo. This I thought was just going to be a helmet that fit over the figure's head. This is actually an alternate head. So this is not a removable helmet at all. This is something very surprising and pretty awesome if I do say so myself, because even in 6-inch scale, sometimes the removable helmet thing is actually more of a detriment, and a lot of times I think I would actually prefer just an alternate head that is the helmeted head. So hey, if they're doing this in vintage collection, maybe that means they'll do it in Black Series as well, but I'm not super familiar with vintage collection. I don't know if there's been a lot of figures with alternate heads, but I know at least in terms of Black Series figures, it's once in a blue moon. So this is probably also a special occasion for TVC, if I just had to guess. But the helmet itself is just absolutely wonderfully done. The details are super show accurate. There's really nice silver paint on here. The Night Owl insignia on the front of the helmet just looks wonderful. We've got a nice silver painted viewfinder here, and on the back of the figure there's just some more dirt and grime and some more silver paint there. Of course though, the viewfinder is not articulated at this scale, but yeah, that is just an awesome looking helmet. So now let's go ahead and take a look at Bo. All right, and here is Bo out of the packaging, and just look at how amazing this figure looks. This is a 3 3/4 inch figure. I honestly cannot believe how this figure looks. The photoreal head is honestly super accurate, and you could even see on the costume here, in a lot of ways it's more accurate than the Black Series version. The belt here is a darker red, her hair is a darker red, the overall costume is a more darker brown, which is more accurate to the show. The Black Series version was a little bit too bright in my opinion, and even the blue on her seems to be a little bit darker as well. So overall just a more muted, realistic palette here. And honestly, to me, it looks more show accurate than the Black Series version, which is crazy to say, although this figure did come out almost a year later, so they had a little bit more time to develop this and tweak the costume. But yeah, you could see the photoreal application here is absolutely fantastic. I just can't say enough good things about how this figure looks so far, so let's not waste a whole lot of time here. We'll go ahead and get her off the stand and take a closer look. All right, and here we are up close and personal, and just take a look at that photoreal head. That is really fantastic. I think the likeness to Katie Sackhoff is wonderful, especially for a 3 3/4 inch figure. They absolutely nailed that. The hairband is really cleanly painted there, and then again, the hair here is definitely a darker, more realistic looking orange. And same thing with the blue on her shoulders there. And you could even see there's some really nice scratched up silver paint detail on the chest armor. Moving down, some more gold paint, that darker red for the belt there. Definitely more accurate. You can see the pistols fit in there just fine. We've also got some silver paint on her wrist for the rocket. And the jetpack is well done as well and is not removable. It is glued to the figure, it seems. Really nice sculpt details for the armor. The undersuit here accurately sculpted as well. This figure just seriously looks fantastic. Of course, moving down to the legs here, you can see that there's some really nice dirt on the blue of the armor, which is actually throughout. It's on the gauntlets as well, but it really shines on the boots here. And that just looks absolutely wonderful. So really digging how this figure looks detail-wise. And then here we are with the alternate helmeted head on the figure, and the proportions just look so good as well. I think that's really well done. And again, alternate heads I think are the way to go as opposed to removable helmets. So this looks awesome. Now let's go ahead and check out her articulation. So since I've got the helmeted head on here, we can see she can look up very far and can actually look down a decent amount as well. And with the unmasked head, we get a decent amount up and down as well here. Of course, they both rotate around no problem. And tilt-wise, here is the unmasked. Pretty good. Nice and sassy. I like it. And back to the helmeted head, pretty much the same amount of tilt there. So that is really nice. Her arms do move out all the way here. The shoulder pads are actually a separate piece now, separate from the arm. So they can rotate around, although you got to watch that armor piece there, but no problems at all. She does have a single jointed elbow that gives you just a little bit more than 90 degrees. And you do also get swivel on that as well. And you can see her trigger finger hand is the appropriate vertical hinge. And of course we do get the rotation on that. And her other hand is also a vertical hinge, which is awesome. So dual wielding characters I think should always have the double vertical hinge, and they absolutely nailed it with Bo here. So that's great. Crunch wise going forward, there's not really a whole lot going on. And backwards, yeah, not much there either. We do get rotation at the waist and just a little bit of side to side here. Not too much. In typical vintage collection fashion, of course, the legs are naturally in a split position. Actually, no. Wait a minute. Whoa. Actually, moving down to her legs here, they are like a Black Series figure. This is the first time I think I've seen a vintage collection figure like this. So her legs actually do naturally kick forward a really decent amount, and she can do the splits at the same time. So these are like new hips for a vintage collection figure here, and that is awesome. That is literally just taking a look at Bib and was like the classic way. I know the recent Return of the Jedi Boba Fett is classic, so she might honestly be the first figure that has the hip joints like that, so that's awesome. We do get some thigh swivel there as well. And also we have a single jointed knee that gives you a little bit more than 90 degrees, and you also get swivel at the knee. Last but not least, down to the feet here. They can go down very far, and they go up a decent amount as well. And she does have ankle pivot. So the articulation on this figure is honestly hot fire. I don't have too many vintage collection figures, but honestly, this is definitely the best articulated one I have so far. So let me know in the comments down below some more hardcore vintage collection figures. Is she the first one to have this new sort of leg articulation? But yeah, she looks great and just poses so well here. And now we'll go ahead and do some quick comparisons. And starting out here with my previous vintage collection review, we've got the brand new Bib Fortuna, and then also the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett that just fell over. And just taking a quick look, honestly, I think Bo looks kind of small. Should she be that small compared to Boba? I don't think so. I don't think so. Then we've got Vintage Collection Skiffguard Lando and the Power of the Force Sice Noodles. And last but not least, we've got Max and Droopy to finish out the comparisons. Alright, so that was my review on the brand new Vintage Collection BO-KATAN figure here. An absolutely amazing figure. Great details, great articulation. This is, without a doubt, the best vintage collection figure I personally have in my collection. She basically is the Black Series version, shrunken down with more accurate coloring. The muted colors are really impressive on this figure. The photoreal head sculpt, the likeness to Katie Sackhoff is absolutely wonderful. So this is definitely a must-have figure if you are a vintage collection fan. And also, this is just a great figure in general. I think a lot of people would be really impressed with this one. If they wanted to try a vintage collection figure out, I'd say this figure could be a great place to start, just to show you how great this line really is. And I'm super happy that I've finally caved and have kind of started getting more into it. So there you go. Definitely pick this figure up if you see it in the wild. 100% recommend this one. And that's the end of my review. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like on this video. Subscribe if you are new. We're always talking about Star Wars The Vintage Collection and Star Wars The Black Series here. Consider joining our channel membership for only 99 cents a month. You get some cool emojis and a Clone Trooper name badge to use on our live streams, which happen every single Sunday at 1 p.m. Central Time. I'm Nate from Out of the Basement. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.